Hello students, welcome to this session of your history class. So today we will discuss about the chapter 3, the Delhi Sultanate. So open your book. So first of all, your history book, the previous two chapters we are already discussed from history, and from civics one chapter also we are discussed. And I think all of you are already studied that two chapters, and also his civics chapter. Question answer also you are already, I given you the question answers, I must have written in your note copy. And this chapter, the new chapter which one we are going to read, that chapter is your Delhi Sultanate. But before that, I want to suggest you one thing, that all of you are remaining at home or not. Yes, I think you are remaining at home, and all are wearing the mask properly or not whenever you are going to out. I think yes, you are wearing, most probably you are wearing the mask. And also you have to tell to your parents also to wear the mask. Okay, whenever they are going out, just you remind them that to wear the mask. Okay, this is the critical situation in this world. So all human beings are suffering in a disease. So you have to be careful and stay at home, stay safe, by which we ourselves can protect our environment, we can protect our family, we can protect our world. Okay, let us start. So Delhi Sultanate, how it is started, what is Delhi Sultanate, and from which year to which year it is started, and how it is gone through, and from which year, whatever the changes are came in between this period. So that we will discuss in this chapter. But first of all, Delhi Sultanate, that means what? Delhi Sultanate means what? When the foreign invaders came to our India, foreign means, don't think that only the Britishers. It may be Afghanistan people, it may be Arabian people, or it may be Turkeys. So from any side, any corner outside the country, if they are coming and ruling to us, they are called foreigners, or foreign rule. But Delhi Sultanate means when the Muslim people, they started to rule to us in Delhi, and they established their kingdom in Delhi, and they made their capital also Delhi, and they ruled over us. So from that point to which history it is defined that all things, so that is called your Delhi Sultanate. That means the Muslim people, when they started their ruling in India, from which period to it started, from that period to which period they made it end, that period it is called your Delhi Sultanate period. So Muslim people are, when they started, then it is actually our history, complete history, world history, it is divided into three different parts. First of all, your ancient history, okay, then medieval history, then modern history. The complete history of our world, it is divided into three categories. Okay, first of all, in ancient history, then medieval history, then modern history. Okay, in India also like that manner, but the period it is little bit differs. Period that means before 8th century, which one is there, that is ancient history. 8th century to 18th century, it comes under the medieval history. And after 18th century, then it goes to the, that is modern history. Okay, so this medieval history again divided into two parts. Again divided into two different parts. One, it is early medieval, and another one it is late medieval. What it is? Early medieval and late medieval. Okay, so early medieval periods starts from 8th century to 13th century. Okay, so 8th century to 13th century it comes under the early medieval, and late medievality comes under 13th century to 18th century. Okay, 18th century to 13th century to 18th century it comes the late medieval. And how the historians are got the proofs, how the lifestyle, how who are the king in between this early medieval period and the late medieval period, who all are ruled over us, how they came to know. What are the sources by which the historians came to know about that? What are the lifestyles of the people at that time? How the kings are ruling? What are the administration they following? And who all are the rulers they ruled over us between that period? So what are the evidence they got? What are the proofs they got? So that sources, that is called sources, and that sources are the early medieval period. The sources are ornaments, they got it. Okay, the ornaments, then weapons, they got it. Okay, thereafter tools they are using. By using the tools they are just depicted that who all are the ruler at that time. Then utensils also they got. Okay, by digging the earth when they are found the utensils. Then coins they got it also. Then inscriptions and temples and monuments. So these all are the sources by which the historians came to know about the early medieval period, who all are ruled over us, who all are what are the administration they are following, how they are ruling to us, how our people are living at that time, what are the lifestyle of that. So that all things are, they are getting sources from these things. Okay, like the same way, late medieval period, that is 13th to 18th century, between that period the sources are traveligus. Traveligus means what? Traveligus means between this period 13th to 18th century, many travelers, those are came to India. Okay, many from China came, from Thailand came, from other country. Okay, Japan also some are came. So those are came to our India. They wrote certain books. Okay, about the lifestyle, about the king's administration, about the ruler. So everything they noted it down in a book. Okay, so that books, by reading, the historians came to know about the condition of the country at that time. So that is called your travelings. Thereafter, biographies. So many kings are written the biography. So that biography, by reading, they also came to know. Autobiography also there at that time. The kings are written many autobiography. So that also, by reading, the historians are came to know about the condition of the country. And chronicles also at that time, there whatever there is, that time by that source also they came to know the condition of the state. So next thing it is that between this medieval period, early medieval period, thereafter late medieval period, many drastic change came to India, not only in India but also complete in world history. There is a drastic changes are came because of between this medieval period, new religions are started. Okay, two new, that is Islam and Christianity. That is probably one after another they started. So this Christianity and Islam religion, when they started, so there is a lot of changes came to in the world history. Same time its effect also came to Indian history also. So it changes that occurs in the medieval Indian were deeply influenced by events taking place in Europe and Middle East. Whatever the changes came in Middle East, in Europe, whatever the drastic change came, its influences came to Indian history also, and mainly due to the beginning of these two religions, that is Christianity and Islam. And by the end of 12th century, most of the North India had come under the control of the Sultanate of the Delhi. By the end of 12th century, that means the beginning of the late medieval, probably 12th, 13th century period time. That time the whole India, northern part of the India, like Uttar Pradesh, like Delhi, like your Himachal Pradesh, this Jammu Kashmir, this complete area, okay, this complete area came under the rule of your Delhi Sultanate. That means Muslim rulers. Okay, so Muslim started to rule over there, and they made Delhi their capital. And this under North India had come under the control of the Sultanate of Delhi, to be followed by the Mughal. They started their ruling, Mughal Empire, we can say. Delhi Sultanate means what? Delhi Sultanate divided to many empire. Mughal Empire was there, Mughal dynasty. Thereafter, slave dynasty came. Thereafter, so many one by one dynasty started there. So it was as early as 712 CE. That time, Arabs under the Muhammad bin Qasim, in the Arab country, was ruled by Muhammad bin Qasim. And Qasim defeated, and he first entered into the India, that is your Sindh part of India. Okay, your Pakistan, that is now it is in the Pakistan, so that is Sindh area, and that Sindh area was occupied by the Muhammad bin Qasim, and he defeated the ruler of Sindh. And thereafter, however, he started to rule over the Sindh, but after him there was no strong ruler was there in the Arab country who can rule or who can invent India. Other parts or other part of India will be invented by anybody else. So there is a most prominent ruler was after Muhammad bin Qasim. Nobody was there. So when Muhammad bin Qasim was died, thereafter nobody are entered to the India to rule Delhi Sultanate. So that so Muslim rules are not spread thereafter to India. But the invasion of Muhammad bin Ghazni, that we'll see. Ghazni, it is before India could be welded into the single empire. Okay, so it was revived by Turkish invaders. Thereafter, when the India was become, at that time India is divided into many small parts. Okay, and their main the thing is that the India is not united at that time. They are ruling by different country, different states are ruling by different rulers, and they are fighting each other also, always throughout the year. They are always fighting each other. This is the because of they are fighting each other and they are not united, it's opportunity taken by the Turkish rulers. Okay, first Turkish ruler they came, and then they revived by the Turkish invaders, and the weakened of the central power or lack of unity among the various Rajput ruler motivated the Muslim to invade India. Okay, there most powerful ruler was their Rajput rulers. Okay, Rajasthan, Jaipur, then thereafter UP, some part of the UP. So these all area was ruling by the Rajput peoples. But the Rajput peoples are not united. They always fighting each other. Okay, and while they are fighting each other, its opportunity is taken by the Turkish ruler. Okay, there is not any central power was there. power is decentralized. Understood? So the various Rajput rulers motivated the Muslim to invent India. So this is why only some of the Rajput rulers are motivated. Also they are invited. Some Rajput rulers are invited to Muslim ruler to come and rule to India. Okay, so some are invited, some are motivated. Okay, to the to come to the India. So the first of these invaders, among that invaders who all are started ruling over the India, first invader was your Muhammad of Ghazni. And Muhammad of Ghazni, he is called in the name of Muhammad Ghazni. Okay, and Ghazni was a small kingdom actually. Ghazni was small kingdom in Afghanistan. He was the ruler of that Ghazni. Who? Muhammad of Ghazni. And Muhammad ascended the throne at Ghazni in 998. 998, Muhammad Ghazni ascended the throne at Ghazni of Afghanistan. After ascending the throne, in order to he tried to make Ghazni more powerful, more wealthy, and more sophisticated to make his kingdom. He started to invent India, and he came to know that India is a rich country, India having lot of money, lot of gold, lot of ornaments. So that is why if we will invent India, then we can bring all the things to their state. So that is why he was shown interest to invent India. And to make powerful and to make it rich country, he started to invent India. And 17 times he came to India. 17 times he came to India and plundered lot of money with him every time. Plundered every wealth of the country of India and taken into the Ghazni. So he was very cruel person, and he was a very good warrior also, and he came to India 17 times. Okay, so Muhammad was a great patron of, and when he came to India in 25 years, between 25 years, 17 times he came. He came to India and plundering lot of wealth and going back again. Then second time again he is coming and again plundering lot of wealth and going back. So like this manner, between this period of 25 years, he came 17 times. Okay, and lot of wealth he has taken with him. And Muhammad was a great patron of your art and literature during his reign. And he is also, not only he is a good warrior, he is not only a very good warrior, very good administrator, but also he is much more fond of the good pattern of art and literature. During his reign, Al-Biruni, the eminent scholar, wrote Kitab-ul-Hind. Al-Biruni, one great poet, great writer, he wrote one book that is called Kitab-ul-Hind, and which chronicled the history of the time, and where everything it is mentioned that time, what is the history of India, what is the condition of India, how many kings are ruling, that all things are written in his book, that is Kitab-ul-Hind. And Firdausi is another great poet at that time. His name was Firdausi. He famous poet, he wrote a poem that is Shahnama. Shahnama he wrote, and where also he has mentioned about the condition of country at that time, what are the culture, what is the social status, what is the different types of culture they are following by the Indians. So that all things are written by him. Okay,